you want me to interview you on this, or do you want to? What's up? Or do you want to just rap? What do you want to do?
Both, either way, man. We're down for whatever.
Cool. I mean, I wrote down a few questions because I thought the book was so freaking awesome. So, but yeah, I'll run you through it. So, what's up, guys? I got my boy, my mentor, my friend, Mark Evans, DM, in the room with you guys today. For you that are watching the replay, big week for multiple reasons, right, Mark? Multiple reasons. First of all, you're getting another year older because you're old as dirt, right? So, was it 42 this week? 42?
43. I'll be 43.
43
tomorrow.
Oh, man, 43. I'm losing count. Yeah. I'm losing count. 43. All right, so 43 this week. The book drops this week. The Me Economy. The book drops tomorrow, right? Tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow. The Me Economy.
11 a.m.
So we're here
June
to
19th, 11 a.m. Yep.
Fantastic. So we're here to talk about the book today. Want to get you guys some knowledge today. Want to get you guys some Q&A today, and also understand what the book is about. Mark, I want to start with the end in mind here, because one of my favorite things I read about the book is on one of the end pages, and that is the WTFDYW. What the fuck do you want? Right?
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that for us for a minute? Because I love that part.
Yeah, man. As you know, like lots of people come to us and they're like, man, I want it all. Cool. What do you want? I want it all. Like, all doesn't mean anything. Joe, you know, a lot of people don't understand. They're saying words. They don't even know what the words mean. All, rich, poor, broke, you know, all these things. So at the end of the day, what do you want? Do you want lifestyle? Do you want money? Do you want both? Do you want, like, what does your perfect day look like? What the fuck do you actually really want?
Uh-oh. All right, if you're with us, guys, stay patient. Mark's gonna hop back on. I think his Wi-Fi is a little weak.
I'm connected.
Hang
Joe.
tight with us.
Here's what I got, buddy. Oh.
Here he comes. You're in and out, though. Oh, he just bounced. So, guys, hang tight. We're going to get into this, and I promise you it's going to be worth it, because this book is fire. Mark has written, this is his 10th book, by the way. And a lot of people hit me up and they're like, I want to write a book. How do I write a book? Where do I write a book? There he is. All right.
I'm full internet. I think you're pulling from the neighbor over there. I don't know what you're up to over there.
That's possible. It's possible.
No, man. So I don't know where I lost you guys, but I apologize. But at the end of the day, what I was saying is, like, these words are so powerful, man. Like, a lot of people say, you know, what they think they want, but I don't think they genuinely know what they want. The reason I know that is because they're not getting what they want. You know, they're constantly in the cycle of not having the things they seek to get, because they don't have the, you know, the dedication or the very clear focus. You know, everyone talks about shiny object syndrome and all that. Dude, like, if you're on a diet and you're really hardcore on a diet, someone could throw a pizza in your face, you wouldn't even see it. You're so focused on the destination. What the fuck do you want? You know what we want. We want to be stupid, filthy rich. We want to give a lot of money away to charity. We want to look better, feel better, have a better lifestyle, have a better family, have better team members. So it's like just getting very clear on that. And as you know, Sean Whalen, you know, this is something he preaches all the time as well. It's a problem, man. A lot of people are loosey-goosey with what they say they want.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're so spot on. And I mean, Sean did this exercise to me about 2 years ago. And it's so simple, man, but it's like, it's so profound. You know, one of my coaches recently said to me, like most people, you ask them about their trip to Mexico, right? And they know what plane they want to get on. They know what seat they're going to be on, what resort they're staying in, whether it's oceanside or poolside, the bar they're going to go to, the restaurant they're eating at, the freaking snorkeling day they're going out, hiking trips they're going. They know every freaking detail about the trip to Mexico. But you ask them, like, what are you going to do this year? Like, what's it look like? Like what's, you know, what do you want for your family? What do you want for your lifestyle? How do you want your business to treat your lifestyle? They don't know answers to any of this shit, right? And I think that's the biggest challenge for a lot of people. They're chasing things they don't know the answer to.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I want more money. I want to be healthier. That's their answer, you know? That's not like the plan. That's the destination. Cool. How are we gonna get there?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Cool. Let's talk about relationships. There's so much good shit in here. Let's talk about relationships for a minute, because you talk about people and you talk a lot about how to create great relationships. And I think that's one of the things that I admire about you the most is every time I ask you, hey, do you have a connection in this industry? You're like, yo, I know this guy. And he ends up being like the top dog in the industry. You are such a great relationship maker and builder over the course of your entire lifetime. And what you talk about in this book, it touches so many great topics. So let's talk about people for a second.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, man, I love people. You know, sometimes that's good and bad. It can annoy you the hell out of you. But I genuinely like people, and I really want to like touch people's lives. And I know the way to do that is to pay attention to them, give them recognition. Well, I mean, Joe, you and I have had a lot of videos and texts and emails. Recently, our buddy Nick passed away. He shot a great message to me, a video. You know, to me, it's like relationship capital at the highest level. I look at relationships as going to the bank and depositing. Interesting enough, I don't really do many withdrawals. You know, I'm actually trying to figure out how to add value, put more deposits in. I think there's one thing about successful people that I've learned: they're not very good at asking relationships to like help them do more stuff. We want to help them do more stuff, which actually helps us do more stuff. So there's a lot of cool things with relationships, I think, because you got the other side of the coin where people are just asking you all the time, hey, man, can you help me? Hey, man, can I borrow a car? Hey, man, can I come to your house? Hey, man, can I stay at your house? Hey, man, can I do this? Like, they're always asking for help, but they're not real. There's no progression. And as you know, like, I mean, I'm 25 years deep in business. You know, June 21st will be 25 years in the business world. So, I mean, I've forged great relationships. The biggest reason, Joe, you're the same way. It's like, do we do what we say we're going to do? And that's what a relationships, I think it's like, you have to trust me like I got to trust you. If you say, yo, Mark, is the wire there? The wire's there. If I say, Joe, is the wire there? The wire's there. Like, the relationship is built on micro commitments, micro conversations, micro moments, right? Joe, when you sent me that Nick video, that's a micro moment. I'm very vulnerable. I'm upset. You sent a cool video. It makes me happy. I remember it. We're talking about it now. And we've done this many times of a bunch of different stuff, right? With your uncle.
Yeah.
I mean, it's endless. It's not, I think the difference too with relationships, I don't need anything from you. You don't need anything from me. We want to help each other. So, and I think that's a big difference in relationships that I'm working on. Like, most people aren't building relationships because they don't understand the value in it, because they don't see a direct ROI. And the truth is, with relationships, man, you know, talking what we're sharing here, sometimes it can bite you in the ass, right? Because people can take advantage of the vulnerability and the niceness of our relationship or connections, et cetera. So you got to be very conscious and cautious of that. But I'm not willing to change for a couple dipshits in the environment. You know what I mean? So I still want to be a great person. I want to be a great friend. I genuinely want to be a great friend. I want to be a great husband, a great dad, a great brother, a great cousin. Like, I genuinely want to do that. But I always love, you know, with the relationship side, man, like I think what I get excited about, Joe, and I think you do too, is I get excited for not where we're at today, but where we'll be in 5 years from now. 100%. You know, like, I'm excited about that. I want to be rolling with you 5 years from now, because I know our conversations will be way different than they are today.
Yeah.
But we're not going to be together 5 years from now if we're not good buddies. We're going to be together 5 years from now if we're not connecting and staying connected, you know?
Yeah, the way I look at it, like, I think I love that terminology that everyone's in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, right? And I'm 100% focused on those lifetime relationships. How do we build the lifetime relationships knowing that, hey, some of them are going to be seasonal, right? And some of those seasons might be like spring and summer, like they're going to add value and they're going to bounce, and that's cool. Some of them are going to be like fall and winter, like they might be shitty and they're here for a season and they're out, right? But ultimately, like, how do I add real value to those lifetime relationships that we're going to be sitting on a porch when we're 95 years old on a rocking chair, drinking scotch, you know what I mean, doing whatever we're doing. And that's a lifetime value relationship. We look back and we're like, damn. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's what it's all about for us. So let's talk about let's talk about health. Let's talk about, I really want to get into like habits, routines, and rituals, because you talk a lot about that in the book too. This is the me economy, right? It's avoiding the outside bullshit to make me better, right? So let's get into like that daily routine, those habits that you do that make you better.
Yeah, I think we all have routines, even for the guys and gals that say they don't have routines. We all have a routine, right? So I love getting up early. This morning I was out sitting out back at 6 o'clock, overlooking I'm here in Ohio, not the house, so overlooking this 200-foot ravine, sitting on my bench, drinking coffee, meditating, conversating with myself or whatever, doing journaling. I'm big on thought auditing. Like, yesterday was a crazy day, like a lot of videos like this, more today. Tomorrow's my birthday. I got a lot of emotional, stuff going on in a good way, not a bad way. It is, everything in between, I guess. But, I think the way the Mia is like, all this, pin up angst with, the COVID and, the pandemic. And that's when this book kind of started off really hard, is April last year. Everyone was going crazy. And I'm sitting there looking around, I'm like, my life really hasn't changed that much. I wake up when I want. I got to eat what I want. I got to listen to what I want. I got to work when I need. Like, I'm working from home since 05. My kids are always going to be homeschooled. That's just a guarantee. So that didn't change anything. Nothing really changed in my life except travel kind of got different, which is fine, whatever. You just got to roll with the punches and control what you can control. And that's what Mia Economy is about, is just controlling the controllables. Control when you wake up, control what you feed your brain, control what you feed in your body, control who you're hanging out with, i.e. the bubble. We're building a bubble, right, Joe? We all live in a bubble. So just figuring out the bubble that we're in. All this comes down to what game are you in? Kind of like what you said about your friends. Are they seasonal or are they lifetime or they're transaction? It is what it is. You just got to know where you're at in the situation. So for me, man, I'm just going to focus on making me better. And if I get better, the people around me get better. And it sounds selfish because it is. And if I'm not taking care of myself and building my environment, building my bubble, the people that I care about I can't do what I want to do because I'm too consumed with what the world thinks about me. Or, if I'm worried about Joe, like, oh man, Mark, whatever, talking shit, which he doesn't, but like if he did, I don't care about this stuff. I don't hear it. Everyone talks about haters. I don't even hear them, dude. I'm too busy focused on me. Like, I don't care what you think. I'm not saying this to be a dick. I genuinely don't care. Like, I'm not trying to go out and piss people off, but I'm not worried if it does piss you off. You know what I mean? And I think 100%. So many people, and we see this, Joe, at high level, at all levels, a lot of people are afraid of what others think.
I was saying this at a lunch appointment yesterday. We were talking about like what our competition was doing, and me and you have been saying this for years at different mastermind events. I'm like, I have no idea what our competition does. And they're like, how do you not know that? Don't you have to study your competition? I'm like, I'm too busy being focused on being successful. I don't have zero time to actually study what they're doing. What does it matter what they're doing? It doesn't matter what they're doing. If I'm successful and I'm growing and I'm getting better and we're scaling and we're doing our thing, why do I have to focus on what somebody else is doing? It doesn't matter. It has no effect on our lives, right? So I think we're in alignment there for sure.
Yeah, dude, listen, back to that real quick here. This is why people are so focused on the Kardashians. It ain't changing your life. You're out there buying Gucci, Prada, Louis Vuitton, whatever bullshit you buy, and you can't even tell your bank account. That's why I don't really get into sports much. I know some people like sports, and I'm not saying if you watch sports, you're going to be broke. It's not that. It's just I like to control the controllables. I don't like sitting watching a sport and getting pissed off at the coach's bad call, terrible play. How can't you catch the football? That's all you do all day long, like get all antsed up. And it like ruins my day. It makes me eat bad. It makes me drink bad. I'm hanging out, people, I don't want to do that. So it's interesting. There's a lot of people that know everything about every sport athlete, when they graduate high school, what their stats are and all that. But I'm like, cool, what's your 401k look like? Hey, what's your IRA look like? You're familiar with self-directed IRA. What's in your bank account? How much do you have? What was your ROI? Like they're so consumed with everyone else. And by the way, like I pull up in the rolls, dude, people are counting my money. Oh man, that thing must be expensive. Dude, I don't know. What's expensive mean? Worry about your own self. Count your own money. Count your own results. Count your own. The competition that we got, Joe, as you know, we walk in the bathroom and look in the mirror. That's our biggest competitor right there, man.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Self-limiting belief. That's our biggest competitor. We do this all the time in the DM fam, right? It's what you're limited to in your mindset is your biggest competitor. And then we shake it up and we go, you want it, go get it. And, one of the guys in the fam just got a white Ferrari, and it was the mindset of, I know I got to pull the trigger. And then, I wasn't involved in it, but you and another guy convinced him. And now he's like, I know it's going to be, I'm trying to think of the wording that he used. I think he said it's going to be a paradigm shift, or it's going to be a pivot or something. Yeah, right.
Paradigm shift. But it's a big movement for him, man. It's amazing.
Yeah. And it's huge, right? So awesome. All right. Well, what do I miss? Gratitude. I think we covered the gratitude. Forgiveness. You want to touch on forgiveness for a minute? Is there a piece there?
Yeah, man, listen, because of the me, right? Like, listen, a lot of people's had a lot of bad shit happen to them in their life. At the end of the day, kind of what forgiveness is, it's another form of gratitude, in my opinion. When you're sitting there taking care of you, I can't do it. Say if you did something bad to me, Joe, I can't do anything to change you, but I can do how I react or don't react, or just forgive the situation. I don't have to forget, by the way. I'm not saying forget and move on. I'm just saying forgive and deal with my life. Because a lot of times people are dealing with this stuff, a lot of bad stuff in their life, and they're not letting go. But the person you forgive is still beating you. You know what I mean? They're still in your brain. They still own this. They still own headspace. When you forgive and genuinely like, dude, I can't listen. Bad shit happens. I've had a lot of bad shit happen in my life. I know a lot of people have, but like, just forgive and go build your life. Focus on the me. And it really does change the game. I mean, I've been ripped off. I've had bad stuff happen. And like, listen, dude, like, man, I hope, one, I believe in karma. So, I'm always like, this is the easiest way I forgive. I'm like, dude, listen, karma's a bitch. It works on both ways when you do bad stuff and do good stuff. And listen, I'm doing good. They're doing bad. It is what it is. The universe will sort it out for us. And it may not happen today. It may not happen in 10 years. But I do 100% believe in the karma effect. So, at the end of the day, for all that stuff, man, I think you got to forgive. And listen, by the way, forgive yourself. If you went bankrupt, maybe. I know a guy went bankrupt. He's still talking shit about it 14 years later. I'm like, dude, get over it. Forgive yourself. It's part of life. You didn't go kill someone. Forgive yourself for doing that. It is what it is. You made moves. Because the problem is he's stutter-stepping everything he does in his life now, and he's doubting himself all the time. His confidence level is really low. His action steps obviously are ultra low because it's aligned with confidence. So there's a lot of weird things happening there, and he's going nuts, man. It's he's going crazy for not forgiving himself and moving on.
Absolutely. It reminds me of an analogy that Will taught the team a couple months ago. Will on our team, he said, imagine if you were carrying a 5-pound bucket of water, right? Like if you were just like, it sounds light, right? Like you can carry that and you could walk with that. You could probably walk around with it for an hour. But imagine if you're walking around with it for 8 hours and 10 hours and 3 days or 4 days. Like it would feel like it weighed 1,000 pounds. Like your hands would, they would fall off, right? That's what's happening when you're carrying around that forgiveness or that guilt or that remorse or that regret or that pissed off that this guy beat you up or like he screwed you somehow or like. So what's happening is they're weighing on you, right? They forgot about the situation. Right. But they're weighing on you. So now you have this baggage you're carrying around. And so forgiveness, I think, is massive. But I think going back to the gratitude as well is people don't realize what a powerful self-realization tool it is to show gratitude when you're in a place. I mean, it's one of the things that I work on with our coaching clients is that the gratitude shown to other people, it becomes armor for you during the day. Right. When you give gratitude to other people, it actually becomes hard for you to get challenged with like a problem. Like problems come your way and all of a sudden they start to shed off because you're so grateful for what you have. You're grateful for your kids, you're grateful for your team, you're grateful for food, shelter, water, clothing, that you're like, oh, that's a problem. We'll figure it out. We'll overcome that challenge, right? Like I'm alive, I'm breathing, I'm happy, I'm healthy. I worked out this morning. I'm grateful for all these things. And so, I'm grateful I'm walking, and so, I think that gratitude thing is so much more powerful than a lot of people give credit for.
Well, yeah, dude, I think gratitude's, again, a lot of people's asking guys like you and I, like, what's the secret powers to get successful? Everything we're talking about these are things that we are doing behind the scenes and everyone we know it's successful are doing. Gratitude. I know you're talking about this armor piece. Here's the biggest thing with gratitude, though, dude. Like at the end of the day, it gives you. I understood when someone dies, they'll gratitude the shit out of that individual. Like Joe was an amazing friend. I wish I would have told him that when he was alive. Dude, do it now. We can literally do this right now. Like, hey, buddy, you made it. And by the way, you've made a major impact in my life 7 years ago. There was a moment, like you could identify that moment. I'm getting goosebumps even saying it. Identify the moment with the individual, personalize it. I'm telling you right now, I've never had someone get pissed off and say, Evans, quit sending me these amazing gratitude messages. This is going into my day. I'm trying to stay focused. What it does is I don't think people also understand the ripple effect it does to them. It's just like when I go through a drive-through, man, I pay for the person behind me every single time. It's a habit. Gratitude is a habit. You know, forgiving is a habit. These are things that we can turn in, again, to the controllables. I can control saying nice stuff. I can control being a dick. I can, like, these are things that we have to be, you know, mental fortitude, man. We have to really, you know, I know we're all about the brain here because it's a game changer, man. It really is.
Oh, it's an absolute game changer. And going back to what you were saying with the, you know, the people who are stuck, it's that story, right? We keep telling ourselves the same story. We get stuck on repeat. Like, that's my story. I'm the bankrupt guy. I'm the bankrupt guy. I'm the bankrupt. If you don't reset that story and decide that that's not who you are anymore, you're never going to go forward, right? You're never going to become the person that you want to become because that's who you're stuck on. And you tell this story all the time because, like, you grew up in an area where most people are not like you. Right. And most people don't see the level of success that you've seen and created the opportunity you've created, and especially been created and surrounded by the people that you're surrounded by today. You had to change your story. You had to proactively become the dude that you are today. Right. And that doesn't happen automatically.
No, 100%, man. Here's the thing is, I think so many people with this story piece, the residual effect of it is it's the same problems. They're always in the same problem. You know, I want new problems. I want problems. They're so big, I have to call Joe to help me figure them out. Advisor to help me figure it out. I have to call my lawyer to help me figure it out. My problems, when people are like, dude, I have all kinds of problems. Their problem is they only got a 12-cent raise instead of 15-cent raise. They only got 2 weeks off instead of 3 weeks. Like, these are not real problems. You'd be fucking grateful you even have a job, for God's sakes. Be even thankful that you could even get time off. Be even thankful you live in the fucking US, right? For real. Like, that's the thing that drives me nuts. I think people's problems aren't really problems. That's why they make them problems. You know, like, oh man, the baseball game got canceled. It's storming, man. I had that planned out for 3 weeks. That's a problem for you? Listen, it's an inconvenience maybe. But go hang out with your family, connect, go educate yourself and learn something valuable. It's going to change your life, your financial life. The thing that pisses me off most, Joe, with all this stuff, people who have kids and they're telling their kids, do what I say, not what I do. You know, they're sitting there and saying all this stuff. We all grew up like that. I'm a parent. I want my kids to be better than me. You know, our parents aren't suppressing us. They're helping us grow. But for some reason, when we become adults, we create, like you said, that story. We're still replaying that shit from 5, 10, 20, 30 years ago. And it's like, dude, when do you grow up? When you snap out of it? You know, it's when you realize there's something more out there. That's the truth.
Yeah, I love that. I love that quote. Tony Robbins says, your past can only control you if you choose to live there, right? And so many people are living in their past all day, every day, right? That's their story. That's my past is who I am, right? That's all I have. And right, but all we think about and all we talk about is the future. When are we going to get the jet? What are we going to build? What's the next thing? What's the next level? I want to turn this thing into that thing. What's the team look like, right? What's the next house? And, you know, so I love thinking about the future. And I look at all the tribe that we've created, the people we talk to on a daily basis, and you see they're talking about today and tomorrow. That's it, right? Like, what are we gonna? You can't change yesterday. It's gone. Like, you lost it. If you didn't take advantage of it, well, that's now. But you still have tomorrow. You're not promised tomorrow, but you should be focused on tomorrow, right? Yeah,
I mean, dude, focusing on today and tomorrow puts you in the present moment. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I think there's so many people making decisions, and we know this 100% to be true. A lot of people are making decisions based off of past experiences, you know? So it's like they're always trying to invest, but from their past failures. It's really hard to get out of that because, like, dude, you don't see any opportunity. You only see all the obstacles. You know, we're very optimistic, and I'm not saying everyone's optimistic, but, like, I'm a very optimist person by nature. It's kind of how I've built myself and trained myself. I see the good in all, even in if it falls down and crushes me, I'm like, damn, at least it didn't kill me. I only lost one arm. You know, I see the good in it. So I think, again, that gratitude or just being thankful that we're still alive. We have so much opportunity in this world right now to step up. I think the pandemic actually was a blessing, to be honest with you. You know, just seeing people to be able to reconnect, actually see what's really important. It's kind of weird right now because there's more money floating around than I've ever seen in my life. So it's kind of weird because everyone says it's so tough, but everyone's buying. I mean, any market you're in is clearly there's a lot of money floating in cars, watches, houses, businesses, anything. I mean, money's flowing like I've never seen it before. So it's very interesting to take note of being in the me economy. My data, not my drama, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it's good stuff.
You know, let's talk about two things real quick, and then I'll let you go. Like, one of those things is look, COVID. Okay, let's talk about the me economy for a second. Best people I've ever recruited in my lifetime, in the last 18 months, right? Best quality of human beings are on the fence right now looking for different opportunities because now's the time, right? Like focus on opportunity for a second, guys. There's people that, yes, maybe they've been collecting stimulus checks or the advanced unemployment or what have you, but they've also been thinking, this is the opportunity to make a change, right? I've been working somewhere I don't like for the last 10 years. Maybe this is something new. I can test out a new career while I'm collecting on this unemployment, right? So the best investment in people I've ever made in the last 18 months, right? The best transition in being able to go virtual in a lot of ways because technology has increased 10x in the ability to handle all this stuff in the last 12 months. I mean, almost every one of our companies has seen an exponential increase over the last 12 to 18 months. What do you have to say about that, Marcus? I know your companies, a lot of them have seen the same.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's wild. I mean, if you're out there looking for high quality talent, I mean, obviously you don't have to pay for it, but there's people, like you said, looking. I think there's a lot of people having, the come to Jesus meeting, or maybe right now, what the fuck do I really want?
Yes.
Maybe you're realizing how many important moments in your children's life or your parents' lives that you've missed because you've had to go to the JOB in person, and you're sitting around at 2:00 wondering, why the hell am I there? Because I should be home watching my kids play baseball or soccer or football or whatever. But yet you have a job, and the job holds you whatever. So we live in a world now where literally we could work from this, and there's no excuse. Actually, the world's adopted it, if anything, right? It's adopted through force, through pure force. And if you don't take advantage of that, that's on you, because it's never been easier to work from home. It's never, when we say work from home, you can work out a small office by yourself or a coffee shop or whatever.
Anywhere.
From anywhere, the beach, whatever. I mean, dude, we have guys that, as you know, making 20, 30, 40, 50 grand a month from the beach, sitting on the beach or at a coffee shop per month, not per year. Yeah. So it depends on, like, maybe you've always wanted to get into sales. Maybe you've always wanted to get into art. We have an artist guy, Anthony. He's awesome. He created a cool economy piece. I'm excited to show the world that, but it's coming soon. But it's all these cool things are going on. But yeah, man, I think it's the opportunities now. And if it's not now, when the hell is it?
Yeah.
Everyone's looking for the stars have aligned. Like, what are you waiting for? You don't have a job. You have more money than you've ever had, and you can work from anywhere in the world. What are you waiting on?
Yeah. And there are people with businesses that are absolutely booming. So why not you? I think that's probably the takeaway from this whole thing is you have the ability to create your own economy. There's nothing that's going to stop you. The news is not going to stop you. The divisiveness of what's happening in the media should not stop you, right? Don't let people tell you that there's not great people out there that want to work for you. You get to step up and become the leader of your own world, your own economy, your own checkbook, and your own family's financial future, right? So.
And if you think there's bad people out there, you're watching the news or paying attention to negative stuff. I mean, dude, there's a lot of amazing people out there. There's a small percentage of terrible people at all levels. That's what it is. You're not putting that shit on the news, by the way. Why? Because no one cares. Oh, I was in Haddonfield, New Jersey today, and it's an amazing guy. Bought my drink in front of me today. What a great place to live. It's so easy. It's so nice. Instead, it's like, Hayden, Haddonfield, New Jersey. Local man crushes can and kills a baby. It's like, If it doesn't bleed, it doesn't lead. If it doesn't bleed, it doesn't get eyeballs. If it's not consuming your brain, they can't control your money. They can't control your time. They can't control your effort. You guys, news is a joke. It's not to be educated. It's to scare the shit out of you. It's a scare tactic environment. And if you think I don't know bad people like that. I don't know about you, Joe. I mean, I know bad people exist, but I'm prepared. I got guns. I got money. I got I'm prepared physically, can handle myself a little bit. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to being prepared. The economy is about being over-prepared. I'd rather be over-prepared than under-prepared. And I'd rather have too much money than not enough money. Right, Joe? We have kids. Imagine getting that call. Hopefully it never happens, but it could. Hey, they have cancer. We need to solve the problem. It's $1 million. I need it today. If you don't have $1 million, you failed, period. If you have 10 million, 100 million, 200 million, 10 billion, not a big deal. If money can solve the problem, and you have money, you have no problem. Solve the problem. But unfortunately we get caught up in the situation where, we're so worried about everyone else, we forget to take care of ourselves. And that's what I'm seeing more and more, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm getting excited over here, Joe. By the way,
I love it.
Joe, if you don't mind, 100% of all the proceeds go to charity. Tim Ballard's Operation Underground Railroad Project. So when you guys get the book June 19th, tomorrow at 11 a.m. On Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and all that, 100% of all the profits forever will be going to charity. And this particular one is Tim Ballard's Operation Underground Railroad, where they save sex trafficking, and they're way deeper than that, but that's what they're known for. They have a huge, by the way, it's really good. But yeah, I'm looking to donate a lot of money through efforts of books, shooting videos like this with you, talking, helping people. Full circle giving.
Awesome. Full circle giving. I love it. I love it. And by the way, that we didn't even touch on charity and everything else that Mark does, but awesome stuff, Mark. Appreciate having you on. Guys, go check out Me Economy. Buy 10 copies. Don't buy one. I'm sure not only are they reasonable, but this is something you're going to want to share with your friends, your family. You're going to want to get around to different people. This is going to change your life. I promise you, as the last 3 or 4 books that I've read of Mark's are. Absolutely awesome. Give them to your team, give them to your friends, give them to your family, share them. Mark Evans, DM, appreciate you being on, brother.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Talk to you guys. Have a great day.